It's gonna be great.
This is why Dare Ice Coffee sent you to crate.
Exactly. Everyone, exclamation mark menu pog in the chat if you want to help support the stream in some way, shape, or form. As we are all getting ready, and there we go. The first lobby has been made. The first qualifying match, mate. We got another TvP.
That we do. We're getting a lot of them today. In fact, it's very possible that for our qualifying rounds, we get all but one TvP.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's possible. Unlikely. Again, you know, when it comes to there at the bottom of the bracket, like a player like Cure and DRG are looking quite strong. But I mean, upsets can happen. You know, Creator has been on the grind as well. You know, representing that waifu.
Yeah, he has to do it double now because it's not in the clan tag.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of clan tags, here we are now on Jagannatha LE. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way to the top right-hand corner. The player without a clan tag, DRG, is going to be a little bit upset here. We have the blue Protoss player coming out from Korea. He is going to be the one who blesses them reigns. I'm waiting for you to pick up on that so you can...
Down in GSL.
Under. Yeah! Representing Africa Freaks, we have Stats.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, blessing the reigns.
Oh, Africa TV.
He's teamless. He is ByuN. And honestly, man, I'm worried for him.
As am I. I think we're all probably coming down from Super Tournament, aren't we?
Yeah, for the people in the chat who may not have been able to tune into Super Tournament yesterday, no spoilers, but ByuN did of course play last night, and as a result, like, he was really fatigued isn't like strong enough. He was just, his wrists were really hurting him quite a bit, and as a result, he had to call for a couple of pauses as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, no spoilers, but you could see in this play that he was playing noticeably worse after the pause than before. And, you know, all of us were kind of thinking, you know, if ByuN, right, this is where he, you know, rests his wrist a little bit, you know, he takes it a little bit easy, but no, ByuN immediately back onto StarCraft 2, just trying to get the qualifiers now, and then hopefully he's gonna rest for a while, but we all know ByuN, he's gonna be playing in whatever online event there's going to be tomorrow or even tonight.
Honestly, I would say it's a little bit reckless as well, because he should be like trying to optimize like prioritize which events to play in and which days to rest. And I'm pretty sure, kind of like how we've been casting every day this week, like on Monday he played in ESL Asia, and then he played in the Korean qualifier for TSL #1, and then he played in Super Tournament, and now he's back again for this. Like, it's 4 days of StarCraft in a row, you know.
Would have guessed Grand Plap was open on Saturday, and we're like, how did ByuN end up here?
Yeah, like if I were him, like you should, you know, maybe hold off on the ESL weekly, maybe even hold off on TSL Korea qualifier #1 and play in 2 instead, or something along those lines. Like, it's hard calls to make, but when your wrists hurt after extended play, like, you should, you know, take care of yourself, right?
Apparently not if you're ByuN. I have to imagine it's even like doubly, like, the reason why ByuN is playing today. Part of that might also be because he didn't.
True.
He didn't. What's the word I'm thinking of here? Advance in Super Tournament last night. I think a lot of us were kind of thinking, all right, if ByuN just advances there, and then he's got like the week off to, like, what's it called?
Yeah.
Work on not breaking his wrist or what have you, but now that he's out, he's got to find something else to compete in.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, ByuN, we didn't get to talk about it, like, because there hasn't been a lot of aggression, but it's been pretty interesting. ByuN had, like, he prioritized his Marauder pretty early, double Marauder opening. I was very shocked.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised with that. I mean, maybe he thought there was maybe something with Stalkers involved, so he wanted to get some concussive shells out to deal with that as quickly as he could. But yeah, apart from that, it's a bit of a standard 2-on-1. I say standard, but 2-on-1 isn't exactly the standard for Terran anymore.
Yeah, to be fair, like, this is pretty aggressive. ByuN hasn't scouted at all. He has not gone across the map if you look at his vision. And he prioritized concussive shell. As you said, stim is done. I imagine when he's gonna, like, push out with his first 2 medevacs and then hit hard with all 3 upgrades: concussive shell, stim, and combat shields.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely the plan here. But we'll see how effective this is going to be. Stats, he's starting to push into ByuN right now. Not too much, only a little bit of a scouting / pressure force here for him.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, Stats, he's already going across the map with his Warp Prism, with his Stalkers. Blink is already done, and I mean, we'll see if ByuN is going to be able to defend. He doesn't have any tanks or Widowmines to defend. It's just these bio units.
Yeah, he doesn't have an anchor siege line, but he does have Starter Step micro. So we'll see how far that can sort of take him. Tech Lab not going to be going down. It is starting to get pretty low though. And ByuN does get that repair off. Combat Shield will not be denied. And with Combat Shield, ByuN, he just has a lot more opportunity for him to be aggressive or even to just hold a little bit more efficiently.
Yeah, he definitely does. But this is what I'm worried about though. Like, against Blink Stalkers, they can just chip away at the bio army. There is some nice micro from both players, nice Blink Stalker micro. Meanwhile, ByuN is trying to pull his workers and keep everything alive. But because of that, I don't know if ByuN is going to be able to hit his timing.
Well, it's already been a little disrupted here because you had to, fall back and defend. I will say that Stats, really nice micro coming out from him. Did not lose too many Stalkers. Meanwhile, ByuN losing just about all of his SCV buffer. Dodging the Widowmine shot as well. And with that, ByuN, I mean, he wanted to be aggressive. He wanted to push across the map, get a lot of economic damage done. But Stats just turning the tables completely 180.
Oh yeah, just continuing to apply more and more pressure, and ByuN, he's forced to pull the boys like this. Like, otherwise he's just gonna lose everything. Again, it's so difficult to defend against Blink Stalkers like this without that anchor point, without tanks.
And now ByuN, he's got to make a bit of a difficult decision right now. Does he just stay at home and try to macro out of this, or does he go for that counterattack?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, ByuN put himself in this position, and this Blink Stalker opener from Stats, it isn't like all in or anything. Like, this is pretty standard. Like, this is like what you would typically see from a Protoss in this matchup.
Yeah, this is just some dedicated pressure coming up from the Protoss player.
I mean, he's like not even dedicated. Like, he's just expanding behind. This is like regular pressure, and it looks like ByuN, he's like able to trade a little bit here in the center of the map, but the Warp Prism made it into the main.
Into the main with the Zealots, even hot picking them up before too much damage can be done there with the Widowmines. And now Stats, he's looking to come in at every angle. Will he be able to take out his Widowmine? He does. And once again, just pulling ByuN apart, forcing him to go back and forth between these 2 bases. Mind you, these only 2 bases of ByuN right now, as Stats continuing to expand.
Exactly. ByuN has been stuck on contained to 2 bases, and he lifts up and he has to go for a drop, right? He has to make something happen. The problem is, Stats saw that drop load up, so now he's hunting for those medevacs.
Just like so. Man, Stats, he really knows where to be at any, how to read this. He's just making the absolute correct decisions when he needs to defend and pull away.
Oh yeah, definitely. And one of the Widowmines goes down. One does borrow, but with Blink Stalker micro. Skadoosh. Now, ByuN, I feel like this is kind of... I guess I don't want to say this is all he has, because he is trying to expand. He's attempting to take a third, but it's so late. Like, he has to do something with this army. To be fair, it is well upgraded. He does have +1.
Indeed he does, and this is a decent angle right now for ByuN to hit in on. He's got a lot of Marauders, so Colossus not going to be doing too much. A couple of slow Zealots moving in to try and reinforce though, and ByuN, he's taking that pretty seriously.
Yeah, but now the big boys are in. We have 2 Colossus with the main army. It's not just Blink Stalkers, and ByuN, he just has his bio. Like, to be fair, this is his style. This is how he plays out most of the matchups. You know, it's very micro-intensive, but it's also very difficult to pull off, you know, not relying at all on any of these anchor point units like, you know, Liberators or tanks.
Yeah, especially those tanks. No Ravens for disabled either, and it's going to be pretty tough. I will say that Shaganatha has quite a lot of wide open areas, so ByuN, he might be able to get a decent concave or 2, but he is just being pushed into a corner right now. Stats slowly applying that pressure, waiting for ByuN to pop.
And just like that, the third base, the third CC does pop. ByuN once again forced onto 2 bases. He has to pull the boys.
I think we're just about seeing the beginning of the end here. I mean, even if ByuN is able to defend here, he lost at third base. Is he going to really doubt that he's going to be able to macro his way out of this? Look at the kiting right off and stats, just about perfect. And as you said, like, how do you... It's not easy to hold against this without something like tanks.
Exactly.
ByuN, he's making magic happen right now. But look at that worker deficit. Look at how costly it was to be able to defend against that.
Exactly. Like, ByuN, basically, he's got nothing but Marauders. It's all Marauders, and that's why he's able to tank through, power through, and take out some of these Stalkers, try and get on top of the Colossus. But is this enough to really snowball? He's gonna try. He's going for a Hail Mary play.
He is going for a Hail Mary play, and I gotta tell you, like, how many gateways his stats has? Okay, yes, gateways.
He has a lot of gates. If he gets like a wave of Zealots, he should be able to defend. Like, lone Stalkers and Colossus will just evaporate to this.
Yeah, this is mostly a Marauder army. Zealots are really what he needs right now. Charge, it's actually really a ways off, Light. That's actually really a ways off, and that might be what kills stats.
Oh,
but he is able to push this off.
Yeah, he is able to defend. Meanwhile, there are a couple of units coming to the third base looking to try and deal some damage. Again, ByuN, he has to do something. He's still stuck on 27 workers, still stuck on 2 bases.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what how ByuN is going to be able to pull this off. I mean, he's continuing to be aggressive.
He is.
But honestly, what does he do behind that aggression? I feel like right now ByuN's best bet is an all-in.
No, that's basically what he's in right now. Like, he should be pulling the boys to try and make something happen. Like, to be fair, in the hands of a micro god, which is what ByuN is, like, can he potentially dive in, kill some Colossus, pick up and get out? Like, it's possible. He could do something like that. Will stats allow him to do so? That's the problem. We're talking about stats here.
Yeah, he is known as a shield of iron. That's because of his impeccable defense. Already losing a couple of these very key Marauders here, ByuN does. Stalker flank, not really going to do too much, but it does buy time to charge to finish. And now that charge is done, I mean, ByuN, he's trying to pick up. There are already some Stalkers taking out a couple of these medevacs.
Oh, they do take out a couple of medevacs, but they were empty. The majority of the Marauders do land. He's going to be able to take out this robotics facility, but again, is this enough damage? Everything's going to get cleaned up.
Is this enough damage? I would have to say far from it. Sats once again moving in to intercept as many of these as possible. Of these medevacs as possible.
Yeah, and again, ByuN, he's microing his heart out. He's still managing to like pump out more and more units. He's dropping, he's trying to deal some damage. He kills off a couple of units here and there, a couple of probes here and there. But like, at the end of the day, he's, yeah.
Now the Templar are out, and once that's done, I feel like that really... Well, I say it should be the final nail in the coffin here for ByuN, but then again, he is a man who never dies. He is a man who comes back from the dead.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm really impressed. You know, he finished up his Ghost Academy. He's got Ghosts on the way as well for EMPs to try and help deal with all of those Zealots and the Archons. He's attempting to land his main base here at the third, but oh my god, the worst timing. To be fair, there's not a lot of anti-air. Yeah,
there really isn't. Only a couple of these Archons, really. But he needs to buy himself some time that he does not have. GG is called, and Stats going to be taking game number 1. Getting 1 game. He's only 1 game away for qualifying to TSL6.
Only 1 game away, and that's crazy to think about, that Stats had to come back for qualifier number 2. Again, I'm sure a lot of people were expecting him to be one of the players to advance through qualifier number 1, but our boy Armani had something to say about that.
Yeah, he had to say, yo, you're not dressed well enough to qualify. My compadre.
He looked down on his teammates due to his lack of fashion, and oh, it looks like we may be getting into a different lobby. Maybe the wrong map?
The players aren't in here, so you know what? I will play on Sats' behalf, let's say. I'll play Terran, though.
Leave lobby.
Leave lobby. Okay, wrong map. That's the thing.
It was the wrong map. And again, like, ByuN, the problem is that, like, the army composition that he went for, it's like his style of play. It's very off meta, and we see why. Like, we see why Terran players open up with tanks defensively, right? Because they help so much in Blink Stalker defense. Stats did an insane amount of damage, and he by no means, like, he didn't have a right to deal all that damage, you know? Like, it's just so... Yeah.
I mean, ByuN took a massive gamble there. Not scouting, going for his off-meta opening. Really hoping that Stats was going to be, you know, playing passive, hanging back like one may expect Stats to do, but yeah, not this time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just looked at chat.
What? I don't know why you said what you did, because we're like, no spoilers, and then you just kept going with it, and then you said what happened, and I'm like, what?
No spoilers, but here's the spoilers.
God damn it, Yaku.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. All right, here we go. We're leading into game number 2.
That we are. It is going to be on Oxide LE. The map that does continue to oxidize as we continue to breathe here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. The player who will not be spoiled, he is the Blue Protoss, coming out from Korea. And Light, I got only one question for you. Are you spoiled? Free.
Down under.
Yes! Representing a freak of freaks, the Shield of Ire himself, Stats.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran. Rating from... he is ByuN.
All right. Now, ByuN, he went for the gamble in game number 1. Will he do so again in game number 2? Is he going to go for a scout? Let's find out.
Yeah, we'll see, because I mean, in my opinion, from my perception, it feels like ByuN isn't necessarily a cautious player. It's part of like his persona, I guess, like how aggressive he is, how active he is on the map, how micro intensive he is. I don't necessarily know if he's known exactly for his scouting.
I think ByuN is just speaking out the wisdom. I mean, Terran 101 that, you know, we all learn when we first select which race to play. Terran doesn't have to scout; they got scans.
Ah, that's not true at all.
Especially in the early game, you want those mules out.
Yeah. Very often we do see some scouting. And okay, so ByuN does go for a Reaper opener, unlike last game, so he should be able to head across the map.
Getting some scouting done here, not wasting energy. Or that scan energy, I should say.
Here we go. Beautiful beginning here from ByuN. He should be able to spot if it is a Stargate opener or a Twilight Council opener, perhaps. You know, so far he goes in, he sees the expansion, knows there's nothing crazy going on.
Yeah, now he can go for the 2-on-1. But perhaps not quite yet. I mean, there's still quite a bit of, there's still a lot that Stats can pull off here with his opening. Have to wait for the Twilight Council to pop out. There it is.
Oh. Meanwhile, ByuN is able to kill one of the workers at the same time. Stats, he tried desperately to deny the CC, but it did finish.
Yeah, taking out the worker. I mean, it's 1-for-1, but I'm sure Stats would have liked to get a lot more damage done there.
Yeah. He did sneak out his Adept earlier, you know, avoiding that Reaper, trying to get a delay, but in the end, ByuN was just too fast with that. And we do see, ByuN already, you know, mixing up his opener, not really prioritizing his Marauders and his concussive shell.
Yeah, this time going for a straight 1-1-1. See what he gets with that. Getting this Hellion out, likely for scouting, but I don't know. There has been some talks by mad scientists about dropping both mines and Hellions with a single medevac.
Who's been saying that?
My brain. I was hoping I could do one of those, like, one of those marketing things where I'll be like, yes, people have been saying, and then people will start saying it.
God damn it, yeah. Cool. It's like, yes, I've heard, like, in the lunchroom, all these people, like, talking about these, like, Hellion Widowmine drops. It's like, really? Who says that? I do.
I mean, okay. Yeah, I've been hearing it because it's coming out from my mouth.
God damn it. All right, so we do have ByuN going in once again with his Reaper. He does see the Robo, and he should see, there it is, the Twilight Council researching.
Yeah, should know that Blink is on the way. Drops with the Widowmines. Is ByuN going to be content with this? Borrows both of them. Surprisingly, I thought he might, try to get more damage out from this. Oh, yeah. But he might.
Oh, he's continuing to borrow and borrow, and he looks like he will borrow one more. Oh, can he escape? He will.
Just about. Blink not done yet for Sats. So unable to punish that medevac. And ByuN, I mean, it's going to be a little tricky, but now he's got the option to go in for a second mine drop.
Oh, yeah. Already a much better start here from ByuN, able to scout, not just scout, but also deal a little bit of damage, is able to escape with the Widowmine so he can dive in once again. And what's also important is that he was able to scout this robotic spade.
Yeah, he knows that if he wants to go for a push, he needs to be building up for it and hitting decently soon. Here comes the second mine drop.
He's so important. Oh my god, there's detection this time.
And in the end, not getting any of that damage done. Nice move for ByuN, but Stats one step ahead.
Yeah, he was able to clean everything up in the end. Stats was, and now ByuN, to be fair, again, like, he was able to do a little bit of damage. He was able to scout his opponent. He saw the third base timing as well. Now he himself is working on a much more solid army.
Yeah, prioritizing everything for this push, getting his +1 stim on the way, and just non-stop building those supply depots just so he can make sure he ain't supply blocked.
Yeah, definitely. He's also getting a much faster third CC behind this as well. He's got tanks set up in beautiful positions just in case Stalkers decided to blink into the main or the natural. Yeah,
not quite yet, but yeah, this is something that ByuN is going to have to respect and remember about. ByuN actually going for not a straight timing attack, but rather a drop. That'll go into that.
Yeah, it should be lined up. The drop will land as soon as Stim and +1 finish up, so this is going to be quite nice. We'll see if Stats is able to have much to defend here, because again, his Stalkers are out on the map. We have a Colossus here over at the third. There shouldn't be anything here at the main. There's even like a little bit of dead space here that he could drop in.
And he does drop there.
Ooh.
Oh, I might be able to catch this Colossus. It is looking so exposed right now. Stims these Marauders forward, and they might actually be able to get it with the high ground vision. Just moves away in time. And ByuN, he's got a lot of opportunity right now to just take out as much as he can. That's a low pylon. That's a low pylon. Denies the charge. Beautiful damage done here from ByuN.
Exactly. Even gets away with the drop. At the same time, the main army does push into the third, and the entirety of Stats' army was pulled away. He has nothing to defend the third Nexus.
Stats being absolutely picked apart here. ByuN, if he can't crack the shield, he's just gonna avoid it.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, like, there's not even enough here for Stats to really engage with this army. Like, charge is still depowered. It's not even done. Without that, it's so difficult to push into tanks.
One decent surround. That's all ByuN needs right now to completely shut down the army of Stats. He is so far ahead in the army supply. He's got a really good composition as well. Decent ratio of Marauders, Submarines, and tanks. He's just setting up outside of the cert base.
Yeah, exactly. The damage has already been done. Anything from here is just a bonus. I don't know if you saw a beautiful micro earlier from ByuN, able to snipe as many Stalkers as he could.
Yeah, just really making sure that Stats ain't gonna have much of a buffer here. Takes out the Cybercore, and with that, only zelts are gonna be able to be made right now. To be fair, I think that is what Stats wants out of his gateways, but this is looking rougher and rougher. The more ByuN sims forward, the more he stutter steps. GG is called, and ByuN taking that series to match point. Stats, he had a hot date lined up. He wanted to be done with these qualifiers, but ByuN saying no. You're going to have to call them and say, I'll be a little bit late.
Yeah, ByuN saying no, you're going to have to come back tomorrow for qualifier number 3 because now we're on match point. This could go either way, and ByuN was pretty dominant in that game, finally getting into the swing of things, opening up a little bit more standard. And Stats, he was not prepared for any of the drops, for any of the counterattacks. He just didn't have any vision out on the map whatsoever.
None at all. I mean, he tried, to be fair. He was very forward with those stalkers, but yeah, in the end, ByuN wasn't going for that timing attack that we see a lot of. Well, he was still going for a timing attack, but not, a straight one spearhead push into Stats's bases. Played it out a little bit sneaky and was definitely rewarded for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was all over the place, dropping in the main, getting a bunch of damage done there with the production, with all those pylons. He was sniping tech, he sniped the cybernetics core, and it was beautiful to see.
It definitely was. Now, we're looking to go into the ace match. Either one of these players are going to be able to qualify for TSL number 6. The other one gonna have to come back tomorrow. As we just look at the rest of the bracket, Light. You know how he said that potentially we would have
oh my god
TvPs for the most part? Well, we have AZVZ at the very least here. Dark versus Solar, as both of them beat their Terran opponents. But down there in the bottom of this bracket, Creator took out Dogrigu 2-1.
Wow, yeah, Creator with the upset, taking down DRG. Nicely done there. Going to be facing his former teammates in Cure. Of course, we will get down to that later on tonight. That ZVZ though, Dark versus Solar, we've seen them duke it out time and time again in the ESL Open Cups, and usually Solar comes out on top. There has been a couple of weeks, especially the week that Dark won, where he was able to take down Solar, but since then it feels like, at least in the ZVZ matchup, Solar has that bit of an edge.
It feels like one of those triangles where Dark not really going to be able to, not quite, his ZVZ is not quite like someone like Solar or Rogue, but when it comes to something like CVP, that's where he does excel a little bit. Whereas of course Solar a bit more known for his ZVT, Rogue more of his well, I mean, as everything is, yeah, overall. But that is not who we're casting right now. There are no Zerg players here, as we are loading into a TvP on Lightshade LE, where in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, the blue Protoss player coming down from Korea. He is Nick Fury himself, the director, CEO, deputy of S.H.I.E.L.D., representing that team down under. That is free. A freak of freaks, we have Stats.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing himself. He is teamless, he is the one-man army, and he is tied up 1-1 in this best-of-3 qualifying match. Can he close it out? We have ByuN. Oof, and you know what?
Yeah.
Stats.
I know a lot of things.
Stats. He's scared. He's shaking in his boots right now. He's terrified because he just sent his probe all around the outskirts of the map looking for a proxy.
Yeah, but in the end, not quite finding it. I mean, hard to blame Stats here. ByuN, he is a bit of that ballsy player. Oh, getting this CC a little bit out of position.
Yeah, interesting. ByuN was having none of it. He's like, you know what? I'm not playing this dance. I'm just going to throw down my CC, even out of location. I'll move it afterwards. So Stats getting a little bit of a win there.
Yeah. I mean, watch ByuN immediately turn that into a planetary so he can never lift it again.
God damn it, ByuN. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, I do appreciate this. ByuN, once again, in game number 3, going for his Reaper, not skipping it.
go for the scout. I mean, how often have we seen ByuN lose games? Mostly because he didn't scout.
Yeah.
I'm still not over it. Like, ByuN could have won an ESL Open Cup that week if he just scouted one game against me.
Yeah, God, sometimes he just flips the coin. He's like, you know what? This game, I'm skipping my Reaper. I'm not going for a scout. It's like, mate, what's going on? Oh God, and we'll see if this is one of those games, because at the moment, Stats is opening up a little bit differently.
Yeah, finally whipping out that Stargate. I mean, we have seen Stats. He is one to. He definitely enjoys the Stargate play a lot, but surprisingly today, we haven't been able to see him utilize it too much. So now, in the final game, the final map of this tournament for him, he's going to be utilizing it.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that production tab, see if he goes something a little bit more standard with Phoenixes, or, you know, a little bit more aggressive with Oracles.
Well, it's going to be Phoenixes for the time being. And these adapts are actually doing a lot to pressure ByuN right now.
Yeah, and I think something that's interesting is it looks like ByuN is going for a 1-1-1 time 1-1-1 opener. Looks like he's going to be switching that starport with the factory, I imagine. So yeah, going to be opening up with something a little bit differently. Oh no, never mind. Opening up with the Cyclone.
He did not see the Stargate light.
He did not.
He is just aware. You're gonna have to go back to this game because there's probably something that prompted ByuN to go for this. I mean, maybe have something to do with the adepts.
Maybe.
You know, just sort of thinking, you know, okay, Stats. He's got to be saving. He's got to be saving that gas for something.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if he went for a Twilight Council opener, he wouldn't have had 3 adepts, right? He would have had maybe 1, and the rest would be stalkers, right? Question mark. I could be wrong there. I don't know if that really works out. But yeah, regardless, ByuN, he is getting ready. He does have that Viking, does have that Cyclone, actually getting a second Viking and a second Cyclone.
He wants to be so prepared for this. But little as you know, that Stats, he is not coming in too hard to the Phoenix play.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, this feels like almost like an anti-Oracle thing, right? Like, if an Oracle dives in, like, there's a Viking and some Cyclones to deal with it. But, ooh, okay, so ByuN is actually pushing out with this.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the army already. He may as well make use of it. He knows that he realizes Stats not going to his side of the map with his air army, so he's going to move to Stats' side of the map with his ground army. Does get spotted.
All right, so Stats is where he brings everything over, even throwing down the shield battery.
And let's watch this. Lifts up the Vikings. They were trying to get some damage done, but not quite able to. And this push out immediately deflected right off of ByuN. Adepts trying to shade on top of these Marines. Pull back away.
Yeah, exactly. ByuN has to be so careful here because now an Immortal comes into play as well. Again, there's no stim, there's no upgrades whatsoever for ByuN.
Yeah, only starter stepping, but that's not going to be enough to deal with against all of this DPS that Stats has got.
Yeah, ByuN, he was really not expecting all of this from Stats, and because of that, everything gets cleaned up. What did he really trade? What did he really get out of it? 3 Adepts and 2 Phoenixes.
Not too much damage done here for ByuN.
Yeah.
And Stats is going to be pulling far ahead in the supply, both army and workers.
Exactly.
Plus, yeah, I was just gonna say, it's Colossus is almost out.
Yeah, like Stats, he was able to defend, and now because of that, he has a 3rd base, so he has triple pro production. He has Colossus on the way. He's teching up. He's working on double Forge. Oh my god.
He wants those upgrades. This is Stats really saying, ByuN, he is not going to be able to threaten anything about my economy for any time soon. So I'm just going to get my upgrades both at a time. What do you say about that?
I mean, ByuN can't say anything about that. he can't stop him at all. So yeah, Stats with the greed that he's going to be getting away with is going to be insane. It's going to be on ByuN to try and do something to bring him back into this game. He has to get some kind of value, whether it's with a drop. Maybe he's going to be able to catch all these Phoenixes out and trade really efficiently. You know, sniping them as well. Like he needs to do something.
Well, he's working on his upgrades right now. Stim finished up a while ago. His +1 about halfway completed. So I feel like ByuN might just go for a pull the boys timing attack here to cut through the greed that Stats is building into.
Yeah, it could work. The problem is that now we have 3 shield batteries being thrown down. To be fair, we don't have a lot of gateway units protecting these Colossus, so Pool of Boys timing could work. Oh, but it gets spotted.
Does get spotted, and immediately a medevac going to be badly bruised here. It's not going to take much for Stats to take that out, and he is keeping the army on this side of the map right now. Absolutely key for Stats. He does not want to have a face full of +1 Marines.
Yeah, exactly. Like Stats, he just has to buy time because Charge is on the way, +1 is on the way as well. More Colossus, more gateway units, and every second that passes is just better and better for Stats.
It very much is, and I mean, there were a lot of seconds passing for Stats here.
Yeah, so the further this goes on, it's possible that ByuN may not end up committing to this attack. I mean, he's going for it anyway. He does have a 3rd CC on the way.
Yeah, just really trying to equalize here. That's quite a number of Marines that are forced to be kept at home because of these Phoenixes, like. Imagine they were on the other side of the map. ByuN, he's had enough of this.
Yeah, oh god, that's a lot of supply here, just staying at home to make sure he doesn't die. Meanwhile, ByuN is pushing out, but again, like, now the army is so huge. Charge is about to finish up in a couple of seconds.
And it's going to crash right on top of this entire ByuN army for ByuN. And yeah, he does not commit to the attack. He knows that too much time has passed. He needs to try to defend and then maybe go for some other form of harass to get his economy back on equal footing. This is an orbital and not a planetary light. I mean, that's technically what he wants for his third CC, but I mean, that's gonna also make it a little bit hard to defend.
Yeah. I do like the restraint that ByuN is showing, that he realized enough time has passed. He's not going for an attack because he knows it's not going to work. So he's forced to expand and be a little bit more defensive instead. But the thing is, Stats realizes this and immediately starts a 4th. Like, he knows, he's like, okay, you're not attacking, all right, I'll just expand. And
I like how on our ace matches when we're getting our slower paced game.
Yeah, I mean, like, even though it's been pretty, like, quote-unquote passive, like, a lot of decisions have been made here throughout this game, and they've really gone back and forth in terms of that. But oh my god, he's on siege! Oh god!
He is completely on siege. Just Zealots charging right on top of the rest of the army. ByuN now getting pretty good choke point is the word I was thinking of. EMP's not getting too much. Gets a really nice EMP on top of the rest of the Zealots though. But here is the rest of Stats' army just collapsing right on top of ByuN. Supposed to be Marines left. GG is called, and Stats, he has had enough. He is going to be qualifying for TSL6. ByuN feels bad a little for him. Gonna have to come back tomorrow.
Yeah. GG. Stats does take the series. He has qualified for TSL6, and as you said, ByuN, he's gonna have to come back tomorrow for another day of StarCraft.
That he does. I mean, I gotta feel for ByuN, man. Like, I mean, he's forcing himself to just play so much. That is not gonna be good for his tendons.
Yeah, hopefully he does take this time to rest and recover. Hopefully he doesn't, take this loss. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna grind ladder for a couple of hours. It's like, wait, stop.
We know how ByuN operates.
Like, put the mouse down, ByuN. Just look after your dog instead.
Put the mouse on the charging dock. Go for a walk or something.
Go to sleep. Get some food. Like, just chill out for a bit, because like, you just can't keep going like this. And hopefully he's able to rest and recover and come back strong tomorrow, to be able to qualify for TSL.
Yeah, that would definitely be ideal. He's already won a Suzaru G. Now he wants another one of these online events under his belt.